The king of all steaks, beef fillet. Beautifully tender, gorgeously marbled and melt in the mouth when cooked to perfection. It's a very lean cut of meat that's gonna require a certain set of preparations. We're gonna have to be extra careful when we're roasting this, because when you overcook a fillet steak, it's gonna be dry and rubbery and not very nice. We're gonna pair this with a red wine sauce, which is gonna be full of body and beautifully glazed. It's gonna give all that flavor that we really wanna have. We're lacking a little bit of fat when it comes. If you compare to a ribeye steak or a sirloin, that fat is gonna give a real nice element of flavor, and that is something that we don't have on a fillet steak. So we're pairing it with a full-bodied sauce that has a beef reduction, so we bring in all those flavors from the roasting, all the flavors of the reduced wine, beautiful garlic and rosemary, pairing it with a little bit of wilted spinach, and that today is gonna be our dish. So we're gonna crack on with seasoning our steak and get it roasting. We have a real nice big cut, but it's gonna take a little bit of time to get it cooked to perfection all the way to the core. So let's get going. When you go shop for a fillet steak, we're gonna wanna pay attention. The fillet is a large piece, there's a thin bit in the end, there's a part, what we call the head, which is a little bit tough. We are looking for center cut, and that is exactly what we have. They'll call it Chateaubriand as well. It's a really nice big piece, about 500 to 600 grams. Should be more than enough for 3 to 4 persons when you're cooking. And I like to keep it as a whole. When we roast it all around and we cook it to perfection in the middle, once it's rested and we carve it open, it's gonna be beautiful and pink. We'll add a pinch of seasoning to that, but it's gonna be the star of the dish without a doubt. A drop of oil all the way around. And a good pinch of seasoning. Be mindful where you put it, making sure that you cover all the areas. This is a large piece. We want to make sure that we touch it with salt on all the sides. Even a bit on the edges. Making sure everything is evenly seasoned. Nice bit of black pepper. Nice and even all around. Also the sides. Want to be generous with this. On the bottom. Tiny touch more. And that is great. So we'll have our medium skillet. Place it over heat. Heat it up nicely. Start searing the outside of the beef. Then we're going to add the butter, the garlic, the rosemary. We'll remove the meat. We're going to reduce our sauce in there. So we're going to start with adding a little of red currant jelly. That's going to caramelize, bring a little sweetness to the sauce. We're going to pour on top the red wine, reduce that by half, add the reduced beef stock and make it into a beautiful red wine jus. There's a few points that I want you to take care when you're making a reduction sauce, and that is really the consistency. All the magic happens in the last bit. It will stay liquid for a fair amount of time, but then we come to that caramel point where it starts bubbling nice. When we get the texture right, it's going to be amazing. Pan is heating up nicely. Gonna add a little drop of oil. And we're going to add our fillet steak. Want to be careful that we don't burn it. We want to make sure that we cook it evenly on all the sides. And it's about 2 turns, 3 sides to get it coated evenly. But we also want to sear it on the top end. When you look at that, that is beautiful. Gonna reduce the heat a little bit. So when we add the butter, it's not going to burn right away. We want to be gentle because butter can burn easily. When the heat is too high, it's going to make a mess. Beautiful on these top ends as well. Get that roasting going on all the sides. And there we're playing with the heat. I'm taking it off and putting it on the side. I'm managing and making sure that I'm not burning anything. We don't want the pepper to burn. We don't want the steak to get too dark. We want to make sure that it keeps roasting though. Otherwise it starts boiling in its own juices. Gonna add a nice spoon of butter. That's also gonna form the base of our sauce. All the roasting flavors are in there. Once we move it around, we'll add the garlic and the rosemary just at the end because we don't want it to burn. We don't want to lose the freshness of those aromatics. And the chef's favorite trick, basting the meat. Making sure that the butter covers all sides. It's a beautiful glaze all around. Gonna add our garlic cloves, rosemary, give it a gentle stir. Make sure that we spread all that flavor all around the meat. And you can really smell it. The kitchen is filling up with this unbelievable aroma of rosemary, garlic, butter, meat sauces. This is really where I'm living for. This is why I become a chef. This is why I love to cook. We're gonna remove the meat. We're gonna finish cooking that in the oven. And we're gonna use everything in the pan here to make a delicious red wine sauce. And we're gonna start by adding just a teaspoon and a half of red currant jelly. This is going to provide a little bit of acidity, but primarily the sweetness. The sugar is going to give a real nice film to this sauce, but we have to be careful. We're going to reduce this sauce intensely, so we don't want to put too much. Just a little touch of sweetness to round off the intensity of the red wine. We want to mix it in nicely. We want to caramelize those sugars. Bring out the best from this gel. Make sure it's completely dissolved, but we don't want to burn it. So once dissolved, we're going to start adding the red wine. That is great. We're going to add about 175 ml of red wine. We're going to reduce this by half until we add our beef stock. Now, beef stock comes in different strengths and different ways. If you can buy it at your butcher, that is fantastic, but you're gonna have to reduce this down till you have a nice, dark, intense beef stock. This was 600 milliliters of beef stock. I've reduced it to 200. And once we've added it to our sauce, we're gonna reduce that back. And this whole sauce is gonna be only about 150 milliliters from more than 800 milliliters of total liquid. So you can see this is really concentrated. We started with almost 800 ml of liquid. We're reducing it down to about 150. But where the magic happens here is it's in stages. We can't just put everything together and reduce it down. Everything has its purpose. So the beef stock is reduced on its own. We did the caramelization of the red currant jelly. Then we have reduced the red wine down slowly. And we're gonna add the beef stock together, reduce that again. And as you guys are used to by now, we're gonna insert a temperature probe, perfect in the middle, all the way through. And we're gonna start cooking the meat in the oven. It's gonna take probably about 12 to 16 minutes to get this done, but it all depends on the size of your steak and your oven. So we're just gonna concentrate on the core temperature. It's about 20 degrees now on here. We're gonna put it in, we're gonna slowly bring it up till about 40, turn it over, make sure that all the sides cook evenly, let it rest, bring it to that final point, 58 degrees. Once again, that's what we're looking for. And making a reduction is not necessarily complicated. It's a patience game. You have to wait until that perfect moment. And once that moment has arrived, you also have to remove your pan from the fire and right away strain your liquid into a clean saucepan. So I have prepared here already a small sauce pot. It can be a ramekin, it can be another pot as well, doesn't matter, but have it ready. So by the time that your sauce is done, we can strain it right in there and it will be ready for serving. And then there's one more thing that we need to prepare, and that is our wilted spinach. We're gonna chop a little shallot, we're gonna chop a little bit of garlic, and we're gonna do that spinach in a little bit of olive oil. First we'll fry the garlic and the shallots. We're gonna add the spinach. We do that last minute so it keeps a bit of bite. And then when we're plating up, we wanna make sure that we get rid of the liquid that comes out of the spinach, plate it up, add our meat and that beautiful red wine sauce reduction, and this will be a stellar dish. When it comes to cutting the onions, always cut them in half. Make sure that it is stable so we don't get our fingers cut. I'm gonna make long incisions. One's in half. Don't feel comfortable making this movement yet. Always keep your fingertips in. If you can stick them out, you're going to chop your fingers. Use them as a guide. And we have a single garlic clove. We're going to cut that fine as well. You can also use a garlic press. I don't really mind. Whatever you feel easy. It is quite important that we get it chopped thinly. So if you find it easier just to press it or to blitz it, and that is really fine. We don't want to have big chunks of garlic that we bite on. It's going to be overpowering, but we don't want any fingers in there either. That is that. We'll have our chopped onions and our chopped garlic ready for the spinach. The spinach is already washed. I'm keeping a close eye on the reduction. The wine almost reduced by half. You can already see that it has emulsified with the roastings of the meat, which is perfect. There's a nice shine already. We're gonna bring that a whole lot further than this. We can add our reduced beef stock. Give it a little swirl. We're gonna have a quick look at our fillet steak, see where we're at. There's still a way to go. We're only at 25 degrees core temperature, means that we can take a bit of a break. We're gonna just give that the time to slowly let the temperature go in. I'll give it a quick turn so that all the sides cook evenly and give it another few minutes in the oven. As we see, the sauce is starting to thicken up. We're not nearly there yet, but we can see the change in consistency. So we start to see some bigger bubbles. But once we reduce to the perfect consistency, we're gonna see that there's gonna be very small bubbles coming up and a real nice glaze and real beautiful shine on the sauce. It takes a bit of patience, but once you're there, you will know that we have arrived at the right point. Making sure I'm getting all the sauce from the side, all those caramelized sides. Almost starting to stick to the bottom. It's all the gelatin from the beef stock that we have reduced, but there's also that element of sweetness of that caramel from the jelly that we've put in. A beautiful shine. I'm not leaving the pan anymore. This is now becoming a matter of seconds. I'm gonna keep reducing until this sauce is like a caramel, beautiful glaze. Great consistency. This is it for me. You can see the shine has become thick. We're gonna pour this over into our little sauce pot. We are removing the solids that we don't want in there. And the result is incredible. A beautiful glaze, shiny sauce. I can see myself in the mirror and I have a much better tan. So we're quickly gonna check our meat, making sure that it's gonna be perfectly cooked all the way to the middle. And we're gonna give it just a few minutes outside the oven because the fillet steak is so thick, it really takes time for the heat to transfer all the way to the middle. And we don't wanna leave it too long in the oven because the outside might get a bit dry. So we'll take it out, give it a little rest halfway, and then we'll put it back in the oven and we'll get those final degrees climbing up. In the meantime, we can saute our spinach. We have our finely chopped onions, our finely chopped garlic, and we're gonna stir fry that a tiny bit in olive oil. We're gonna add that nicely washed spinach on top. We wilt it around. It's gonna have to be just cooked because I really like the crunch. I wanna keep as much of that spinach flavor intact, and the more you cook it, the more the water will run out and you also lose the flavor and the freshness. So that's why we kept this for last. We're gonna just finish it up. Garlic, onions, olive oil, quick stir fry, season it with pepper and salt, and then we go straight to the plating. We don't want to go too hot, we don't want to burn the onions, we really don't want to burn the garlic or the spinach either. It's quite a gentle preparation here where we're going to cook real quick and we're going to remove it from the heat. We're going to pour it on a fine mesh sieve so the excess liquid from the spinach can drip out, and then when we plate we won't have all the liquid on there because we want to make sure that that sauce is going to sit beautifully around the spinach and also around the fillet. It's already nice and hot. We're playing with the heat and just removing it from the heat source, making sure that we're not going to burn the garlic. And we're going to give that a gentle stir. Coating the garlic and the onions evenly in just a drop of olive oil. Playing with the heat source, making sure that we're cooking but not burning anything. Because the onions are cut so small and the garlic is cut so small, it can very easily get brown, and in this case that is not what we are after. Then we're going to add spinach one hand at a time. Give it a quick stir. Add another bit. Can already add a little pinch of seasoning. Want to make sure that that salt covers all the different leaves. Quick crush of pepper. And the final bits. And remove it from the heat. You don't want it to burn in any way. Just a quick stir fry, as you can see here. Some of the leaves can still almost be raw. Keep real crunch in the leaf. A fine mesh sieve. I'm gonna just pour over the spinach so the liquid can evaporate and run away in the pan. Now we'll leave that here on the side. Liquids can drip out, finishing the beef, heating up our sauce, almost ready for plating. I'm gonna do one more check on the meat. We're at 51 degrees. I wanna give it one more rest, giving the time for that heat to transfer slowly to the inside. It's gonna slowly crawl up. Those last few degrees, they are really important, and we really do wanna take the time. We don't wanna rush this one. I don't wanna leave it too long in the oven at a time. So that's why we are cooking it in the oven 4 to 5 minutes. We take it out, we'll leave it to rest for a few minutes. Heat goes more to the inside, we put it back. Take it out. We've repeated this now 2 or 3 times, but we are getting to the point where it's gonna be absolutely perfect. And later on when we carve into this, you will see that the effort has paid off. It is a bit tedious to do it like this, but it is because it's so thick, and we wanna make sure that we don't overcook the outside, but it's cooked all the way through to the middle. It's the final push, it's the final few degrees that we need, just 2-3 more, I would say 2-3 minutes in the oven as well. When this is coming out, we'll give it a few minutes to rest here on the board. And that's it, we're at the perfect temperature, it's 55 degrees. I'm gonna take it out of the oven, let those last 3 degrees just slowly creep up whilst it's resting, and we're gonna be finishing off. That's where we're at, 55, you will see slowly the heat will come up. It's gonna be a beautiful 58 degree. We're gonna rest that meat real nicely. And when we carve into it, it's gonna be perfection. That's what I'm trying to teach. You can't gamble it with meat. You don't really know what time it takes, how big the cut is, what type of meat you have. The only thing you can always rely on is the temperature. Beautifully roasted all around. We want to have that color on there because that's what packs all the flavor. And then we're going to be adding the sauce, we're going to be adding the spinach. It's going to look gorgeous, it's going to be tender, it's going to be enough for 3, but we're gonna serve it just for 2 because we're meat lovers. I love a good steak. I don't mind to bite into a real nice big piece of fillet steak with a beautiful sauce. Get me ready a nice glass of red wine. And then what they call the moment of truth, because we're wondering how this is cooked. It is not the moment of truth because we know exactly how this is cooked. It is cooked till perfection. I'm gonna just gently heat up the spinach. We don't want it cooking anymore. Just wanna make sure that it comes to the plate nice and warm. Same with the sauce. Still nice and warm. Yeah, we're gonna plate this really simple. We're gonna make a nice base with the spinach, and we're gonna place the meat on top. We're gonna plate the sauce around. Want to take care when we plate this dough. You know, we spend all this time getting it right, getting the seasoning right, getting the cooking right. It's not difficult, but there's a difference between giving it attention or just whacking it on a plate. And for me, this is the way you can really show that you like cooking. It's these little touches that make the difference, that this simple dish is gonna look absolutely stunning because you just took care when you place those few things on the plate. That is looking perfect. And look at that. That is cooked till perfection. Absolutely gorgeous. I can do this, but you can do this too. If you follow the steps that I've showed you, if you take the time to cook it all the way through, you're gonna end up with a piece of fillet steak that is cooked at 3 Michelin star standards, and nobody will know the difference between you or Gordon Ramsay when he cuts open the steak. Beautifully cooked all the way through. I'm gonna finish off the plate with that incredible red wine sauce that is so fragrant and shiny. Little pinch of seasoning on the top, and there we have it. This is our roasted fillet steak with wilted spinach and a red wine sauce.